Well, hello, welcome back. I'm Claire, this is Purple Poppy, and as you can see from the cover, this is 52 weeks of journal making. Let's just move my coffee before I end up throwing it everywhere. However, today seems to be a technical issue day. I have already recorded, because normally I'd say to you, look, that's last week's where we did the tatty tucks, and I've already made and recorded today's page, but somehow, for some ridiculous reason, my phone's lost it, so I can't upload it, and I don't obviously want to make the same spread again. So I'm going to talk you through this one quickly, and then I'm going to do a different spread on a different page. So this was obviously just a bag. I made one of my standard bags where I just fold the pages in, stick it down and fold the bottom up. But this time, instead of gluing all of it, I just glued the edges so that I could put something in that first pocket. Okay. And when I glued it to the page, I glued across the top, down the side and along the bottom, so that I could add something in that pocket there as well. So you've got 1, 2 areas, and then obviously you've got the bag itself, so you've got 3 areas. And this was just simply a tag where I covered the back and I covered half of the front in the same theme as the bag, and I just made a little journal card that could slip in there. So that was that one. And then this one, what I basically did was I put a edge under the coverall so that it would flip, and I put a little tab on it so you knew to flip it, so you can journal on the back and you can journal on the inside, and I just popped that in there. And then to keep the theme going, I just fussy cut one of these ladies and I put it on the other page. But as I say, that's been and gone now. I'm very sorry. I don't know what was going on. So I thought what we would do today, or what I would do now, is I would do an envelope tag. So an envelope tag, I'm basically going to just hook it on, I think, like so. But we'll see about that in a minute. So what I did was I got out my envelope punch board. And as you all know, I like to do my tags at 6x3. Well, the closest size that I could find on my punch board was, let me find it and show you, was actually 3, can you see that? 3 by 6.5, which meant I had to cut paper at 7 7/8 and make my first punch and score at 2 3/4. So that's what I did. Okay, so I had an 8x8 pad, so I just trimmed it down to give me the right size, and that's what I had here. And then I've just popped it in. I found 2 3/4 and I punched and I scored and I carried on going until I had my envelope shape. But I didn't want the pointy bits, so I just did a straight line off and a straight line off there, and that's given me my unstuck envelope. Okay, no real rocket science there, it's just an envelope. But what I wanted to do was I wanted to make an envelope tag, and I wanted to make it with like a secret pocket. So I've cut the same size from another sheet of this pad, so it's exactly the same size. Okay, but so it's basically secret. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink up this side and get it stuck down so we've got an actual envelope. Okay, so I'm going to ink down this edge along the top, and I'm using this iced spruce because I think it just works really well with this wintry paper. These beautiful snowflakes. Okay. And then I'm just going to open it up and do the other sides. Really simple. Okay. And then obviously this one across that top, down that side. Okay. And then obviously we want this top one. You see I've got my cutting mat out, finally found it, got it on my desk, so that's going to make life a little bit easier in that there'll be no more stamping on background paper. And then I'm just going to run a bead of glue down that side and down that side, just to make an envelope as we always would. Okay, and that's our envelope. Bing bong bash. Now what I want to do is I want to glue this to make like a secret pocket. So I'm sorry that's boo in the background because there's a lot of noise in the street. I'm going to glue across the top, down the side and across the bottom so that we've got a pocket that side. Okay, so glue across the top, down one side and across the bottom. Okay, like so. Now I want the tuck in pocket to be on the same side as the flap. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that I flip this over so that it is going on that side, and then I'm just going to stick this down in place. Okay, really simple stuff, like so. Okay, and I'm just going to run my ink around that edge now that that's stuck down. Now you would often put a thumb hole there. The reason I've not done that is because I want it to be as secret as possible, and I'm just going to put what I'm going to put inside. I might put a little tab on it just so it's easy to get in and out. We'll see as we go. Okay. Now, what you also have to bear in mind is, obviously, as a tag, we want a hole in it, don't we? To put our string or our end lace on or whatever. Now, obviously, you can put a hole in there, a small hole, because this will still open, and it will just mean that your thing that goes inside needs to be that little bit smaller. So you may choose to you know, use a tiny hole near the top. Alternatively, you can put some lace, or if you're lucky enough to have one of the whale tail punches or something on the top instead. Yeah, either way, but obviously you need some kind of string or something because it is supposed to be a tag. And then what I'm going to do now is close that back up. Okay, and I am actually going to put something on top of mine rather than something inside. So now I need to make the thing that goes into my pocket. Okay, now I think these autumn owls are quite nice. We could do something there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give myself a good space, can you see? And I'm just going to bring that down to there. That'll be my cut line there. And then my cut line this side, I'm sorry about all the background noise, will be about there. Okay. I can assure you that the child you can hear screaming is not suffering in any way, shape or form. It's just a child making noise. Okay, so let's line that up there, snip that down there, turn it over that way and snip it across there like that. Now that should now perfectly fit into our secret pocket. So I'm just gonna, no, it's a little bit too tall. We just need to take a little bit off the height. Obviously you could have measured this if that's your bag. You've been here before, you know I don't often do measuring. So try not to drop that on the floor into a noisy crash. That is now going to slide in there very nicely. Okay, so I'm just going to round off my corners like so. Okay, a little bit of ink around there. Okay, so we've got ink on it. It's going to sit in there, so we need a little bit of a tag on it. I think I'm going to use a bit of fabric. Whoops, sorry if I just jogged the camera. So I'm just going to put a little tear in there. Okay. And I'm going to pull off these strings. Like so. I'll find a glue spreader, a little bit of cloud, just there like so. Give that spread out, and I'm going to just pop my, no, didn't think so, didn't really get any out there, did we? There we go, that's better. And then I'm just going to obviously pop that on there like so. I don't know why we're struggling with this glue today. Technical issues, glue issues, it's all going wrong, isn't it? Right, so that's that. And that's my secret little pocket. Okay, so there's my secret little pocket with my tab to pull it out. This is my envelope, and now I need my front of my tag to be decorated. I'm just wondering, yeah, no, okay. I was wondering whether or not I wanted a closure on the envelope, but I don't think I need it. I don't think it's necessary. Now I have got the end strip of this fabric, and I thought it might be nice to fussy cut some of this to go on this tag. So I'm just going to fussy cut round the pattern so that I've got a nice band, and not only have I got a nice band, but I will also have an edge that I can tuck things under if I choose to. Yeah, so just fussy cutting this out. I'm not going to fussy cut it in too great a detail because obviously it's going on to the same background, so those little peepholes that normally you would desperately try to cut out to ensure that you had no sort of nasty white on your beautiful grey background or whatever is not going to be the case here, because this is the same paper. So we get a bit of a cheeky ride there. Cheeky save is what we get. See how much we actually require. So we need to go to that one there. Okay. I'm going to do it like that, and then we can see exactly where we are. So actually I did that wrong, didn't I? What I need to do is do that bit there, I think. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's just get this last little bit out here, and then we have got our little decorative side tuck. Okay, use a little bit more of my ink, cover up that white edge, just pretty this up where we've fussy cut it. More shouting in the street, I do apologise. Okay, so I think we're just about there. So I'm going to get some glue on here, and then I'm going to find myself a nice rusty paper clip to put this on the page in my book. So this time, rather than actually doing the page, because of the mess up we have with the video, we've done like an embellishment for the page. So I'm just going to make sure I get nicely on the edge. Okay. And now you see I forgot what I was doing there, didn't I? And I've glued the whole thing, so it's not a tuck spot now, it's just a decorative edge. That was very, very silly, but I wasn't thinking straight. I bet you were all shouting at the camera telling me, wasn't you? Never mind. It doesn't really matter, does it? And then I thought, as we've used this cotton on the side there, we don't really want that for the top, but it would make sense to use some more fabric. So I'm going to use a piece of this Hessian, trim that off like that, and I'm going to trim off that side as well. Okay, that's obviously lovely. So make sure that you don't glue your envelope shut, because that would be a bit of a disaster at this stage. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a blob of glue there. Just going to quickly rip off that end and rip off that end, so we've got our jagged sides. That's stuck to me. Okay. And then I'm going to glue that piece on that side. And then flip it over and glue that one on that side. Okay, like so. And then if we bring in our signature, we find our page, which is this one here. I'm going to find one of my rusty paper clips. There's one. And I'm going to pop that wide side down on there. And I'm going to clip it down with that rusty paper clip. Okay, I've told you before, when I rust my paper clips, I basically use salt, vinegar and water, and I just leave them in a pot on the window ledge and let the sun basically dehydrate it by, you know, drying up all the water. And there you go, there's our envelope there. And obviously if you wanted to, you could put not only your tag in the side, but something inside the envelope too. So there you go, that's what we've done this week. I'm sorry it wasn't the actual this week with the bag and the 3 pockets, but there you go, technology got the better of me. So as always, thank you so much for joining me. Stay safe, happy crafting. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.